to the City Council meeting scheduled for 5 p.m. September 5th. Will now come to order. Roll call.
Councillor Hoag.
Here.
Councillor Koivunen.
Here.
Councillor Lillis.
Here.
Councillor Hadrava.
Here.
Mayor Vaisalovich.
Here. Approval of the minutes, City Council workshop on August 8th, and approval of the minutes, City Council meeting August 8th. If no one has any changes or corrections or additions, call for a motion that we approve the minutes of those two meetings. So moved. Support. Motion made by Koivunen, support by Hadrava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, approval of tonight's agenda. I've got one item here. We have a park facility use application. I'd like to mark that as number 14 under new business. Does anybody else have any additions or deletions or changes? If not, call for a motion that we approve tonight's agenda with that change.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis. Do I have support?
Support.
Support by Hoag. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no appointments or presentations tonight. We've got a 5-minute visitors window here. If somebody would like to address the council before we move on, or wait till the meeting's done. Anybody have anything you want to bring up before the council, or wait till we finish the agenda and can bring it up then?
I don't know when you want us to talk about some issues with the street improvement on 2nd Street.
Well, let's go over with everybody. We'll take it up now. Yeah, let's do it now. We got the engineer here. Yeah, what do you need?
My name is John Hogan. I live on 1615 West 2nd Street, Eveleth. We got a pretty nice street now. And I understand that one of the things we're going to hear about is what the cost will be for us. Is that correct? You haven't determined a cost yet?
We don't have a cost right now.
Okay.
We gave you the prelim numbers on the estimate. Yeah, no, we don't have a.
I know I've talked to you, Jerry, about some of the things, the issues that we have with what's happened with the street. The street itself is good. The curb is good. We have the contractor hauled in a lot of that old red ore rock and dumped that into the 10 feet that they tore up when they did the street project, and then also on 17th Avenue West, and then they dug up all that rock. Well, now they just put grass seed over the top of that rock, and I've got a brand new lawnmower that the mower deck is getting all dented up. And I'm not too happy about all that rock being left there. I think the contractor really did us a disfavor by putting the rock in there.
This is an example. If you would like to see it or pass it around, this is an example of what is in our yard.
And
in our yard, in
John, they didn't put any topsoil at all in there or anything?
Well, if they put topsoil in, what they did is they came back with a skid steer that had like a big tiller on it, and it dug it all up. Well, now that all this rock is dug up to the top, and it's we're hitting it with our lawnmower. There's some of that rock
dirt on top of that stuff without it having come into the surface. We'll have to look into this.
Some of that is the size of a softball.
Yeah.
And I raked a little bit of it up the other day, and there's just too much for me to rake up.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. So we got that. They damaged our brand new fence out there. They seeded over that rock, which wasn't a real great idea. And then the drainage out of the alley behind our place, all that water comes down that alley on that curb, and they did repair that alley where it was damaged, I think from a long time ago. And the repair was good, but now rather than have all that water fall into a drain and go down that culvert that they put in, it goes right down, and some of it goes out into 17th Avenue, and the rest of it goes right down John Foy's yard and is washing his yard out. And so I don't know. The design, I think, was not the way it should have been, but hindsight's always 20/20 when you look at a project like this.
Is that average rain, John, or is this?
Well, you know, we had that
deluge we've been
5
getting?
inches of rain
Yeah.
the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and the water was just coming down in buckets, and there was thousands and thousands of gallons that came down that alley that day, and it was a mess. Well, you know, we've been getting more and more of these storms all the time, and you know, it's too bad that water didn't get so that it would fall into a drain and go down underground rather than down John Foy's yard.
Oh, that was just brutal, that rainstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know, we're getting more and more of these
Yep.
bad storms.
It doesn't rain, it storms every time.
Yeah, yeah. So you got that problem. And then next door to me is Ken O'Brien's place. And when the contractor did the saw cut on his apron there, rather than re-blacktopping that where they cut it off, they just put rock there. And all that rock is gonna get pushed right out into that brand new street.
And that was
People-
paved before.
People will spin their tires and, yeah. So it, you know, that, I think should have been blacktop there so we don't end up having rocks and debris coming out of his driveway when people go in and out of there too.
Not only that, with the rocks being there, what's the plow gonna do with it? One zip and it's gone? I mean,
Well, I guess I wouldn't want to snow blow his driveway now.
that's what I mean. When the plow comes through after the first snow, I mean, you're gonna take them rocks right out of there.
Right,
I mean, it shouldn't
Yeah.
be rocks, it should be blacktop.
yeah,
It should be restored to what it was before the construction, at least.
yeah.
You know,
And
if it was-
it was many, many years old, that blacktop in his driveway there, but it was black.
Is that on the whole boulevard, this rock problem?
Well,
Or is there
I
certain?
can speak for myself, but John Novlin is here too, I don't know, John.
I already picked a bunch up in my yard too. I guess they don't wanna use a rake, you know, I mean, that's all they're taking, rake it up.
I mean, you pick some rock up, is that the end of it, or is it just gonna keep every
It's
time it
gonna keep-
rains?
It's gonna push up and.
Gonna keep
I
working
mean,
its
we all
way.
had
Well, that's what I'm
issues
thinking.
before. You know, it should have been brought back to what we had, not, you know, we shouldn't have to deal with the rocks and all.
It's definitely not what our yard looked like.
Okay, that's my point, you know,
Yes.
it should be the way it was. Well, maybe they gotta put topsoil and some sod on this.
We'll have to,
I
yeah,
don't
our engineer and Jerry will have to look into it and deal with the contractor and, see what
They
we
should have
can
had
do
to have
fix it.
sodded it or something.
Gotta sod it, that soil's gonna wash away.
Sod
if
and
these rains.
blacktopped it and should have been how it was when they went out there.
Yeah. Jerry, you and Ellen wanna go check that out? And you can tell us what you think?
Well, I guess that's.
John, you wanna give him make sure we got a good copy of your hit list there and
Yeah.
the engineer here and Jerry will go through it, so.
This is minor stuff we have. Okay. We've got the retainer.
I'm Cindy Laukkanen, and I live across the street from them. And I just have a couple of questions about the way the road was done. It's slanted so that the water runs across the street and down into the drain. And I'm just curious because it used to run all the way down the hill and it would run across in front of my driveway, and I'd have to call every spring for all the potholes that would be in front of my driveway. And so now it's not right in front of my driveway anymore, which is great, but it's just beyond. But am I wrong, or is this gonna keep eroding? Should there not have been some drains on my side of the street? I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but when I look out there, I have pictures of after it rained, and for 2 days, there's water flowing across the street there. And eventually, to me, after time, I've paid a lot of money for this road, it's gonna erode again and be potholes again. I don't know, it doesn't seem like that's how it,
I know it was designed to sheet, so I guess I don't know the way around sheet.
We'd have to meet and look at where your house is.
well, I can show you a picture of 2 days after the rain.
Is that coming up from the side of your house there?
It's coming, see, if you stand right in front of this tree, all of the yards slope right up for like 4 yards. So 4 yards, you're coming down to that point right there. And to me, I don't know, this is what it's going to be like all the time.
Yuck.
And so to me, that's just gonna erode again, and I'm gonna be calling every spring, can you come fill in, can you come fill in? I don't know. I mean, I didn't design the road or anything, but all I can tell you is what it looks like 2 days after a rain. And we have been getting a lot of rain, and that's true. But I don't know, I just think it's gonna wreck again. I don't know.
Well, like I say, the engineer and Jerry will have to meet with the contractor and we'll have to go over the specs, make sure where it's at. And then you guys will work it out.
So there's curb on that side, but not this side?
Yes. And then, so the road slants real nice, but I'm just wondering if there shouldn't have been drainage on my side too.
You know, the best thing is, Jerry, if you can get a hold of you or somebody, John, who knows what specifically you want when they go out there and look at it, you could point it out. So
Well,
then they'll know exactly what areas are the concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, see
mean-
what has to be done.
Thank you. Would that be like a punch list?
Yeah.
I guess I don't have anything else to add except for the construction company basically left a stick in their yard, and they have grandkids, and he tried to pull it out, and he couldn't even pull it out. And his grandson could have gotten killed on that. I think that's really negligent on contractors. I just don't think that's right that they should have left that like that. But I don't know what you guys do about it.
I don't think you've done the punch list or walked through with those guys yet. They're not even close to that.
There's, like a preliminary punch list started, but it hasn't been addressed at all at this point. There's items out there to be addressed on that project still.
That's good. You come here now and bring this stuff up, then after they're gone and stuff, and we paid them, then, you know, then it's kind of a pain to get things changed, but I appreciate you coming up here and bringing those points up, because we don't live there. We don't know exactly. You see every day what happens. That's how we
Is it our
know.
responsibility to remove the black barrier? Because.
No, you shouldn't have to touch anything out there.
No.
I believe they leave that there till a turf established.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get turf, then they can. Just a silk fence.
And I would say you guys just stay in touch with Jerry, and Jerry will stay in touch with us and the engineer and make sure it all comes to, everybody's happy at the end.
Jerry's not saying.
Sorry.
What do you mean? You're a taxpayer.
I know, but she's.
That's your privilege.
So you understand when he was talking about punch list, that's part of the project, that's the wrap-up part of the
Yeah.
project. So that hasn't been done yet, so that, you know, it's good timing. That's, I guess, what the mayor was alluding to, so. Hopefully we can get everything squared away to everyone's satisfaction, including ours.
If I had rocks in my yard like that, I'd wait till he drove by in his truck and I'd cut my grass. And say, here, take your rocks back.
You know, they come in and do a job, and they can say, they probably know one works there, probably lives there, so that's what they wait for this punch list. Is this good enough, or is there something we have to do over? Well, according to you guys, there's something we gotta do better, you know? And they don't know that until we sit down with them and tell them. That Ellen and Jerry look at it with them. Because somebody might say it's good enough, and that's what they're waiting for. Do we gotta change something, fix something else? Or like you say, the rocks on the boulevard stuff, oh
Well,
man.
if they're only gonna seed it, you know, they should dig out about the top 3-4 inches at least, and put some topsoil in and then seed it, rather than seed right over all that rock.
Well, I'm just wondering if sod's the more permanent way, because if you get another heavy rain again, you know what happens to that soil. That's going down the street.
I understand the specs didn't call for sod, it called for seeding.
Yeah, I think we had some changes there too with the manholes too, a couple that we had to change. On that too, they were pretty well corroded.
Few different things there.
Yeah, but we know when we seed, we don't seed with rocks. We put black dirt down and then you put seed on top of it. So, I mean,
That's some pretty big rock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, them are big rocks.
And there's many more like.
And that's to yards that didn't have rocks in them before, so unless they're growing them out there, you know, but I was right.
That soil was what they dug up. I mean, over the years, we
Yep.
took a lot of rocks out, they threw the same stuff in it, turned it over, well, you got rocks again, so. Back the way it started years ago, people first built out there.
Even at that point, though, they should, like you say, rake it up and clean it up, so. That's part of the punch list and the hit list that we'll give them, so.
Well, we'll work on that one. We've got our the A-team over here, Ellen and Jerry, they'll figure it out, but just keep in contact, you know. If they're going up, they can get a hold of you and kind of point out specific things. Because if it's not raining or exactly what area, it's kind of tough to go there and guess and just kind of figure it out. But if they know exactly this is the spot where it's doing this, then they can do something about it. Anybody else have anything on there? John?
Hi, John Oblin, I live at 1607 West 2nd. They pulled a couple sidewalk blocks out and, when they cut the street down and I put a curb in, but the job they did there, I showed Jerry a picture. I mean, I had a decent sidewalk before they started, now it doesn't look the same, so I'd like to have that corrected, maybe. See where they put it in and they broke a block there and they just didn't turn out very good, so.
Oh, I see.
Not the way I want to see it anyway.
So there's a step there.
Yeah, they put in 2 steps,
And there,
but they pulled the blocks out and where it split, it was all rough. When the guy put the steps in, he just took some of the cream off the top of the cement and rubbed it up there. Now it's all cracking.
oh,
So it was just a poor job. One more block should have been taken out and did it right, squared it off.
You gotta have our expert give his opinion there, Jerry. Bill will go out there, critique it. Yeah, that looks.
Yeah, it looks pretty shaky.
that's just gonna freeze and
Oh, it's gonna crack worse.
Yeah.
When I shovel and, you know, you hit it with the
That's-
shovel, just gonna crack
that
off.
step should have been, at least,
Yeah, I
10
was gonna put a
inches.
ramp in there, but it was too much of a slope, I thought.
you'd
well,
kill yourself in the winter.
Yes, exactly, so,
And
to me, that wasn't that good.
I'd be
No,
upset,
that's not good.
I'd be upset about that too.
That looked like something that was sat there for 5 years already.
Looks like something I would've done.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we can-
That's another punch list.
that's a
Yeah.
$5 an hour job. We want the $15.
That's all I got.
You wanna pay what we pay.
I'm glad that's all you brought up. I thought maybe you got picked up for speeding or something. out
No, I drive slow.
there. Anybody else have anything, concerns about the
Hey.
street project?
Have you guys from West Eveleth noticed how smooth 101 is?
Yes.
It's coming along, ain't it, huh?
When they cut that top layer off, that was the best ever.
Holy smokes, it's nice!
We were joking about that, going out the South Grove, and I go out there quite frequently. That is the smoothest 101 has been in many years.
Well, the only smooth part lately was the railroad track after they fixed that. The rest was just awful. Well, if no one else has anything to bring up, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of payroll, August 1st through the 15th. Approval of claims, August 2017. License agreement with ProQuest for Ancestry Library and Library Clerk job description. Hey, this item 3, that isn't that, like that ancestry.com, is it?
Yes, it is.
Really? Well, that's pretty interesting. Anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? If not, call for a motion that we approve the consent agenda as it stands. So moved. Motion made by Koivunen, do I have support?
Support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Public hearings. 2017 capital improvement projects hearing. I will suspend the council meeting at this time and call a public hearing to order. What projects does this entail, Jackie?
So I will just read what the letter was in the packet that went out to the folks. For the property owners, encloses a notice of improvement hearing for the 2017 capital improvement projects. The same public hearing was held on June 7th, 2016. You would have received notice of the public hearing in May of 16. The reason the city is having another public hearing tonight is that during our process to secure financing for this project, we discovered that the notice for that public hearing last year did not get published in the city's official newspaper as requested. We've been advised by our special legal counsel, that's Kennedy and Graven, who's working for our financing, that we must hold this public hearing in order for us to secure the financing for the project. So it's a repeat of a public hearing for last year for the street reconstruction on West 2nd Street and street reconstruction on 15th Avenue West.
Anybody have any comments or questions for the public hearing on those projects? If not, I'll adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the council meeting. Council meeting is back in session. And unfinished business, we have nothing. Under new business, J1, resolution awarding the sale of general obligation improvement bond series 2017. I have a motion that we award the sale. David, you got some comment on that?
This is the bond issue that is used for that public improvement. It's an assessment bond. For those of you that are thinking about that, we did the analysis on it. So this meets the requirements of an assessment bond. It's a 20-year bond with 5-year window of rate adjustments on it. It covers all of the public improvements, including that portion which would subsequently be assessed.
And we have done this before, haven't we?
Yes, we've done it a few times before.
And I'm pretty sure that, so with that, I will so move.
Motion made by Koivunen to approve the resolution. Do I have support?
Support.
Brian, do you
Yes, sir.
support by Lillis? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 2, resolution declaring the intent of the city of Eveleth, Minnesota to reimburse certain expenditures from the proceeds of the tax exempt bond or other obligations to be issued by the city.
When you issue a bond, if there are prior expenses that have been incurred, to allow funds from those bonds to be used to reimburse those costs, we have to do it by separate resolution. That's what this resolution is for. So it's those costs that were incurred prior to the issuance of the bonds. Those costs were included in it's the legal costs, engineering costs, those kinds of costs.
This is for the purchase of the dump truck, and we already made a down payment. So this allows us to get reimbursed back for the money I put down.
Are we going to have it here before the snow? Jerry?
Probably this week or early next week we can go get it.
Oh, good.
So be people fighting for that truck.
That's why nobody's retiring.
Right.
Buying new equipment. You have any further discussion on that resolution? If not, could call for a motion that we approve that.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Drava. Do I have a support?
I'll support.
Supported by Hoag. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 3, resolution awarding the sale of general obligation capital note. Well, David, ready?
This is an award of the capital note, which is an award to Miners Bank, which is the buyer of the capital note. Those negotiations have been completed. The stipulations within the note are in compliance with what the bank requirements are regarding rate and terms and conditions.
Anybody else have any questions of Dave on that?
I don't know where to begin, so no.
No questions? Can I have a motion that we approve this resolution?
So move.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do I have a support?
I'll support it.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks for your work on that, Dave. This is a very, it's very technical, very legal, and we appreciate the time you put into that.
You know, you like confusing us. You really like confusing all of us up here.
We can sit here in these conversations and actually go into the specific detail. and then I get accused of trying to blow smoke up everybody's good. So, let's be a little honest about it. So,
All I can say, Dave, is I kind of understand you, so we've been together way too long. Yeah. We've gone through this before.
but it's, you know, they're good, clean transactions, and that's what matters. And the other thing that matters is we have been able to really master, maintain, and controlling the city debt limits, so that we're always within a reasonable balance. And that's been critical to the city over the last few years, and we surprisingly managed to create fund balances here, which works to the benefit of the city.
Yes, we have.
It's a good system.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Item 4, resolution authorizing the Virginia Eveleth Economic Development Authority, VEDA, to request the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board consider modification of the loans for 1401 and 1404 Progress Parkway. Anybody have any questions? Those are the two buildings in Progress Park, the first one and the second. If not, we call for a motion that we approve this resolution.
So moved.
Made by Hoag, do I have support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, resolution authorizing the City of Eveleth to make application to and accept funds from the IRRB Laurentian Vision Partnership Grant Program. And it looks like this is for improvements on Leonidas Overlook.
Yes, it is. So Beth Pierce, who is Executive Director for the Iron Range Tourism Board, which I sit on, saw the need that when Mindview went away with the reconstruction of Highway 53, that we indeed have a really nice overlook, hasn't been improved for many years. So she took it upon herself to start kind of searching for ideas and quotes from people to get an idea of what we could do there to improve it for all the people that are from here and from out of here to make Eveleth more of a destination.
Well, you know, when you stand up there and look, it's really got quite a view. You can see U.S. Steel, I mean, so far. That's when Fox News was in town the other day. They were looking to get a picture of the area, and I sent them up there. And I think they did use that for a photograph. It's a pretty nice site. Anyone else have any questions? Not to call for a motion approving this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Made by Hadrava, do we have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 6, pay request number 2 from Jola and Sop Excavating, an amount of $110,489.75 for 2017 sanitary sewer improvement project. Does this include Jackson Street, Jerry?
This is Jackson.
It is, okay. I see they're finally finishing that one up.
Yep, they have the base coat down and hopefully we'll get the airport soon.
Oh, they had a mess with that rainstorm. Oh, it slopped, washed all
Everybody
over.
behind.
Anybody else have any questions? If not, call for a motion that we approve pay request number 2 to Jola and Sop. So moved. Support. Motion made by Hoag, support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 7, pay request number 3 from Utility Systems of America, an amount of $64,680.75 for 2017 street improvement projects. Anybody have any questions? If not, call for a motion that we approve pay request number 3 for them.
That is West Eveleth right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you make the motion? What, are you afraid or what?
I'm not afraid of nothing.
Oh,
I will make the motion because I know
Okay.
Jerry will straighten West Eveleth out.
well, you know, they're putting the frosting on the cake, so to speak.
Yeah, and I'll
What they gotta
support
do.
it because
Motion
they'll
made
fix
by-
it.
They will. Motion made by Drava, support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Pay request number 2 from Joel and Sop Excavating, an amount of $25,776.32 for alley improvements. So moved. Motion made by Koivunen to approve that pay request. Do I have a support?
I'll support it.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Pay request number 2, item number 9. Pay request number 2 from 3D Concrete and Construction, amount of $13,310.80 for curb and sidewalk replacement. Have a motion that we pay 3D for the sidewalk work.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Hadrava, do we have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 10. Resolution accepting donations for the K-9 unit from Perella and Associates Incorporated and Jake Putzel. I already thanked Jake this morning, by the way.
Mayor and council, on this, I did notice, I believe the Perella and Associates was $250.
Oh, okay.
There might be the,
So when do we get to see this dog? That's the next question.
this month.
Get ready, Bradley.
I'm ready. Bring him to a council
You
meeting?
said you're not afraid of anything.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're right live on TV with that comment.
Chief can handle it, I can.
You have a motion that we approve the resolution accepting a donation.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Hadrava, do we have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 11, recommendation to hire firefighter and EMT. Lacey Sladen and Michael Rowan. You guys are hard at it. Gonna keep the numbers up, I appreciate that.
We are working at it. Unfortunately, it tends to be a continuing work in project, but we're making some headway.
Well, that's what I mean, you guys are on it all the time, because it is kind of a continuous job, keeping it staffed, you know.
Absolutely.
And you do a good job at it, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
We call for a motion that we accept these recommendations from the Public Safety Committee.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, do you have a support?
Support.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 12, request from the police chief to sell forfeited vehicle. I think I had one of these, but that's here nor there.
Was that the purple one?
Yeah, the pink one. Call for a motion that we grant the chief's request to dispose of this vehicle in the usual manner.
We finally got one in the same century that we're in.
You might want to go look, this might be your truck.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, do you have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 13, fall 2017, refuse collection and yard waste pickup schedule. We got it all figured out and we're ready to go. Call for a motion that we approve the fall refuse collection and yard waste pickup schedule for 2017.
So moved.
Motion made by Hoag, do you have a support?
I'll support it.
Support by Hadrava, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And if people miss the yard waste alley pickup, they can always go down to the pile too?
Yes.
Manually dump their own?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Bring your own, everything.
Okay, we have item number 14. We have a Veterans Park Facility Use Application from St. John's Episcopal Church. And how do we do that? Last year was that we were waiving the fee?
Yes.
That's okay. And that's something I think we've done in the past for nonprofits?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Anybody have any questions? If not, call for motion that we approve this use application.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Hadrava, do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That takes care of new business tonight. Does anybody on the council have anything to bring up or add? Any commissions or meetings? Brian?
HRA is running smooth. Had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and everything's going good up there. I mean, really nothing to elaborate on. Can you think of anything, Bill?
No, everything's going.
Yeah. Yeah, very good staff up there, I want to say that. Pretty close to full occupancy. I think for the year we were 97 or 98%.
Are they still remodeling units up there too?
It's ongoing.
Oh, okay, because I know that probably hurts your occupancy rate because they've got some units that aren't available or being renovated.
I mean, every month there's usually linoleum, carpet, doors or something.
That's pretty much, people, move out, we take care of the,
Okay.
so it's going pretty well.
And there's some other capital projects in the works. We have a plan coming up, but we'll talk about that later when they're, going on. Other than that, I have nothing.
Okay, Joe, you have anything to add?
Nope.
Brian? You got-
Nope, no, sir.
Bradley?
Just a couple little things, Mayor. Veterans Park is getting ready to close the doors. We had a pretty good season from what I understand. It's still open for the next few weekends, so get out there and use it while you can. Next thing is I got a little tiny insight on our helicopter service out there at the airport. They're remodeling their hangar and it's in full, what do you want to call it? Full bloom. They're working hard at it to get it opened up and get it going, and I'm hoping to see it when it's all said and done. And school's open. Chief, drive careful and accordingly.
Nice, it's kind of quiet during the day now.
Not if you live where I live.
Your choice.
Every kid's gonna have the loudest pickup.
Hey, there's nothing better than a V8 rumbling.
Right, with no exhaust.
I don't mind that kind of sound, that's
Oh,
what
the heck, you had one of those trucks 5 years ago.
Yeah, you don't work midnights.
I really don't have anything to add. Chief, you have anything else to bring up? Jerry, you got your marching orders tonight, you and Ellen? Jackie, you have anything to add? Joel?
No, Mayor.
Steph, you got anything, news for us? Anybody from the audience? If not, then I will adjourn the meeting.